Zoom. Cynthia, if you can hear me, very good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I don't know
Yeah.
whether you've
Good
been
morning.
actually following development in Edo States, but one of our correspondents there says that parties are actually celebrating while they await the collation of results. But we all know that there will be one winner after, the announcement of the results. What does that tell you? The the mood at the Collation Center?
I think, for every election, like you said, there will always be the party who takes, who wins the elections, and others, I don't want to say who lose, because I don't think in a democracy you have losers. I think in a democracy, we all win when the system works. And so what matters is whomever wins, that they are benevolent in their win. And at the end of it all, the focus is on governance, because the bigger issue is question of governance. But when you talk about the mood, I think it's two-sided because, not some minutes ago, the People's Democratic Party convened a press conference and expressed some of their concerns with the process. We also see that in some local governments, you've had some complaints from the All Progressive Congress also, and so it depends on which side of the states you are engaging or where you are at the moment. But for us as Young Africa, and just speaking with other civil society groups, our main focus is the electoral process. And I think what happened last night in some collation centers is quite disheartening. We had disruption of the process in Esako West, LGA Results Collation Center, in Ikoboka Results Collation Center, and in Oredo Results Collation Center. And what that for us is disturbing because we've had a relatively peaceful and calm process from the commencement of polls, the accreditation, voting, and counting. It was much later in the evening that we started getting this. In fact, our LGA Results Collation Office observer in Esako West sent in a message around midnight stating that they had to take cover because it's been disrupted by thugs, and then there was also the conversation around the security also playing a part in that process. The security officers deployed in that location. We also got reports from IGO LGA Results Collation Center, and then also we report that some of those collations will be moved from the Results Collation Center to another center. And even as civil society this morning, we are speaking jointly, calling on INEC to ensure that it activates its power under Section 65 of the Electoral Act, which gives INEC the powers to review results that are declared either under duress or not declared voluntarily, or results that are not declared in line with the Electoral Act and the INEC guidelines for elections. INEC has the powers to do so. And for us, like I said, our interest is the process, because if the process is transparent, a lot more people will be confident in its outcome. But if there are questions, then you have a lot of doubts on the outcome. And we need this election that has started peacefully to also end peacefully, and for citizens to feel satisfied with the outcome, which is why we're calling on INEC to investigate some of those reports. INEC had also highlighted that they got some reports of disruption at some collation centers, some ward and LGA. Investigate those reports, and those results that were not declared at the centers where they ought to have been declared, or the process disrupted, INEC has the power to do those reviews and do its final certification before the final declaration of results. That, for me, I believe would inspire confidence, especially because once you start having parties issuing conferences and press statements, even though, like I say, every party, there's no party that is there's none of each of the parties will have their own side points of view and perspective. What matters for us is what's policy, how has the process been, was there due compliance with the rules of the game, and was INEC transparent in all of its processes, and the security, because we were really not happy with some of the conduct of security in this process. In fact, some locations where INEC officials were intimidated and harassed, security officers did not step in to protect the officials. We shouldn't be subjecting INEC personnel to some of these this sort of intimidation, especially when we have large deployments of security. So it's also a call to the security officers. You're not to interfere with the process. Your role is to secure the process by securing the personnel, the materials, and the voters and other actors who engage the process. And I think if these issues are looked into, it would also inspire confidence, which is why I say celebration depends on who is talking and who is speaking. At the moment, we focus on INEC and wait for INEC's statements on the results.
Observer mission, you know, how would you compare this or how would you describe the process of this particular election with that of the previous time?
Well, you know, we always say it's good to compare oranges with oranges and then look at context. You know, Edo 2024 is a bit different from Edo 2020 and 2016. But if there's one consistent trend, is the logistics challenge, which we're hoping would be addressed. In 2020, a lot of the excuse was that was our first elections conducted within the pandemic. If you remember that the 2020 election was conducted just months after the lockdown was eased, and so we were still dealing with the COVID pandemic at the time. And it was easy to make those excuses for the Electoral Commission that they didn't have enough time to plan because of the pandemic. But this time around, there is no pandemic, right? And so we're expecting that some of the logistics challenges we observed would not repeat itself. And so if you ask me to compare, I mean, we're still observing, so we don't have a full assessment yet until the process is concluded. But from just the commencement, the accreditation, voting and counting, I do believe that there's a lot more that needs to be improved upon. We need to keep improving and not to remain at the same pace. We saw late commencement of votes in some locations. Yes, it rained, but we know this election is always conducted in rainy season. So the rain can't be an excuse. And so logistics-wise, there's a lot that needs to be done on the part of INEC to ensure its logistics plan is better. We can't have the same issue every electoral cycle. It's like we're not growing, and that's not good for our electoral system. The other comparison for me is turnouts and participation of voters. While I know Yaga Africa were doing an analysis around the turnout also, but INEC would also share its figure. But just from the observation yesterday, there were some polling. Usually you go around, you see queues in some places. And I don't know if it's just because of the rain, because the rain stopped at some point. Some locations, you just don't see the queues you usually see. And so I'm a bit worried that we would have even lower turnout compared to 2020. 2020 turnout was about 27 or so percent, 25.7% or so. And so at this point, which was a decline from 2016. 2016 was about 32% turnout. And I'm worried that we may even have a further decline than what we had in 2020, just by what we saw out in the field. But we would wait to see the final official figures. But it's just a call, honestly, to voters. We need to understand that a lot of resources is spent in conducting elections. INEC plans based on the number of registered voters. So you have 2.6 million registered, about 2.2 million PVCs collected. The expectation is if you have that high number of collected PVCs, over 80% PVCs were collected, and at least you should have 50% turnout, because what it means is if we keep having lower turnout, it means we are wasting resources. That because all the money is invested in procuring materials, because INEC plans based on the number of voters, all that money is spent. It's almost like it's not yielding the results. And I think if I'm comparing, that would be one thing I would be seeing is the level of participation beyond the logistics. Is the level of participation. I think the third and the last part for me, as I'm comparing, is level of the political tension before the elections, but how elections they played out. There was a lot of worry in the pre-elections phase. And one of the previous guy that was interviewed said, thank God no one died. I think this election, yes, there were issues before elections, but on election day, it was relatively peaceful. And I'm hoping that this is what will continue in every state, that will have peaceful conduct.
Beautiful. What about BVAS? Have we had any issues with BVAS?
Well, so INEC did deploy BVAS, and our data, as we released yesterday, showed that in every polling unit where we observed, the BVAS was deployed. In fact, some polling units had more than one BVAS deployed. Now, the observation here with respect to the BVAS was in some places, there were political thugs trying to intimidate the officials to bypass the BVAS, which is why we also said in those locations, security agencies were supposed to step in to even prevent such issues. Because INEC, the law is clear, and INEC has also said it. If the BVAS is not used, the results for that unit to be cancelled. So at the end, whatever happened in those locations means it will not be accounted, it will not be part of the final outcome. So that's one. So at least we did commend INEC for its deployments. We had deployments across board. We only had one incident where the BVAS malfunction board was not replaced until as late as 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. yesterday, where we had followed up. The BVAS had still not been replaced. Some other locations, BVAS malfunctioned, but subsequently the INEC tech support, the RAC techs, they were available to help in reviewing or resolving those issues. So if I think of the BVAS, yes, we did have deployment of the BVAS. Also the IREV, if you followed the IREV portal, you could see that results were uploaded only through within the night that the portal observed had experienced some challenges around that midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. However, I checked the portal today, it still is back up. I think perhaps maybe it was, I'm not sure what the issues were, but if you think around upload, that's 11 p.m. yesterday, you already had about 90% of the results from the polling unit level uploaded. And I think that's also something to commend INEC on, because it's an improvement. Perhaps it's based on the new review that incorporated both offline and online features to the BVAS to enable upload even when the network is not functioning or is not strong. And so that may have helped in the work. We want to see INEC improve on its work, on its processes. And so for these examples I said is to commend INEC for at least complying with the rules in the deployment and in the application of these technologies in the electoral process. But like I said, overall, we will give our final assessment after the process is concluded, and then we can do or draw better comparisons with previous elections in Edo State.
Okay, though you made observation there about security agencies not, in some cases, not able to protect voters. But what do you make, what's your assessment of overall security presence at the elections there?
Yeah, ahead of the elections, the police had informed us that 35,000 police officers will be deployed, and that wasn't even including the other numbers of other agencies supporting. And so we did expect that at least every polling unit would have a minimum of 2 or 3. If you divide 35,000 with the number of polling units, you'll be expecting to have a lot more coverage. What our data had shown was that in 95% of our sampled polling units, we had security personnel deployed. However, in about 5%, we did not see police officers deployed in those locations, and we were not sure what the issues were for those particular locations. So on deployment, we're hoping to see overall a deployment across every polling unit. Perhaps the police will give us why that happened. On the conduct, we did experience some level of professionalism with some security personnel. However, in some places, they were just very complicit. Where vote buying was happening, you can see that vote buying is happening. Police officers were looking the other way. And you're wondering, your role is supposed to make the arrest. I know EFCC had also given update, they made some arrests, but the police also has the powers to make arrests. It's not just an EFCC issue. And so if you ask me on, yes, some levels they were professional, but I think it's beyond just showing up. It's about doing the right thing. If we want to curb vote buying, we need to begin to arrest and prosecute people to limit that culture of impunity. Votes were sold at 10,000 and more. Some people were even complaining that they were promised 10,000 and now they want to give them 5,000 and they would not agree. You see this kind of conversations happening, and the police is just looking the other way. In some locations, you see the people making the payment standing to see who voted for who and then escorting them out, giving them something. You see smiles on the faces, you can tell monies have exchanged hands. And so we were expecting that a lot of arrests would have happened. We didn't see that. There were also locations where some police officers, I think those ones either did not participate in the training or were not listening during the training, because some of them, either they were not sure that observers were part of the electoral process. I had instances where, as an observer moving around, they asked me to come down. I came down from the car, gave them my tag, introduce yourself, the questions, who are you, introduce yourself. Sufficient. Normally, your INEC accreditation tag should be sufficient for you to observe the process. But I mean, I did what I felt, okay, perhaps these people did not participate in the training. So explain myself and one of our partners, introduced ourselves. We've had other civil society partners that also experienced those levels of intimidation, but it wasn't widespread, which is why I think for some of those people, they were either overzealous police security officers and not necessarily what they were asked to do. And the last part for me is the point of collation. And that was where we became a bit disappointed with the role of the security. And because we were expecting a peaceful process from the voting, counting, and collation, but we began to experience more interruption of the process and interference of security personnel in some of those collation centers where there were disruptions observed.
Now, before I let you go, what do you think stood out for you as an observer?
I think the first for me, honestly, was the resilience of some voters. I mean, I was in one of the stations hiding under my umbrella, and some voters were in the queue in the rain, waiting to vote. And it just got me thinking that, yes, we may not experience, massive, crowding of polling units like we were hoping to see, but even for the numbers that came out, they were resilient to stand in the rain and to cast their vote. People were drenched, but they were waiting to vote. That is inspiring, and I'm hoping that whomever wins this election will reflect on the sacrifices citizens make just to vote in leaders. And whomever wins this election would understand the importance of quality leadership and governance for the people. Nigerians deserve better. One thing that stood out for me. The second part for me was the fact that regardless of the tension in the pre-elections phase, elections day, it was relatively peaceful. We're always happy to celebrate. We did not lose any citizen. That is key. No INEC official was kidnapped. In some states, you have people kidnapped, and INEC has to do a lot to retrieve them. Thankfully, we didn't have that. So the fact it was peaceful until the later part of the night, that was also a very important message or learning that stood out for me. The other things, honestly, is the political class. If our politicians understand that they are parts of the threat to our democracy, maybe they will start to act right. When they talk about, oh, young people are calling for military and all that, it's not. The problem is our politicians do not want to be reformed, even though we reform our process. Like you're reforming the electoral process, but the main actors do not have a mindset of people that are reformed. So you do all the work you want to do, but they are looking for new ways to manipulate the system and undermine its integrity. And at this point, we need to start calling our political leaders to account. They need to understand that this democracy means a lot for us Nigerians. We cannot go back to the days of dictatorship or to the days of living in an almost banana republic kind of scenario. We need a system that works. And for our system to work, we need to get elections right. If politicians don't buy votes, voters will not sell votes. If politicians don't pay thugs, elections will not be disrupted. If politicians do not attempt to bribe officials of security and INEC, they would not be bribed. So the thing is, as you plan for elections, they are planning for ways to undermine the power of the vote, undermine the credibility of our elections, and that is the bigger problem for me. And if you ask me, this election is no exception to a lot of the elections we've had. The same tactics by political parties. None of them are innocent. I mean, both the APC and the PDP, because our reports showed that both the APC and PDP, they were buying votes. So they can't be blaming each other. They need to call themselves to order and ask themselves, as a political class, do you want Nigeria to develop? Do you want to give hope back to the citizens? Young people are losing faith in the system and looking for ways out of the country. And I'm sorry I'm taking this long. It's disheartening to see that we've worked a lot to get a new electoral act, reform the process. NTA, you have Good Morning Nigeria every day. You focus on the process. Yeah, I'm sure you're that you actors willing to change the game and focus by the rules of the game.
Okay, well, briefly, what would you like to see by the time the results are announced?
I think for me, it's one, how the results are announced. I believe that if any party raises any grievance, that the Electoral Commission, by the new Electoral Act, the reason why Section 65 was introduced in that process, because we were part of that reform process, was because we wanted to limit how cases get to the courts. That once parties raise objections or questions, INEC can have the power to review. So if objections are raised, questions are raised, I hope that INEC would exercise its power to review those results before the final declaration. The second for me is also for a peaceful post-elections environment. I'm calling on all political parties, regardless of what the outcome is, let's understand that at the end, what matters is the system, is the people, is the state. And so we need to ensure that Edo State remains peaceful post-elections. Please do not agitate your supporters. If you have grievances, channel it through the appropriate system. If you do not trust that system, you can approach the courts. But whatever happens, let's remember that we need citizens to be alive in the system. So it's just a call to the political class. Whomever wins the election, be magnanimous in your victory. Like I said, I don't think there are losers in a democracy. When elections are conducted and system works, we all win. And so we need to focus on the bigger picture.
Thank you very much, Cynthia Mbamalu, Director of Programs, Yaga Africa. In fact, it's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Nick Dazang, you've heard from Fusayo. Parties in a celebratory mood. But of course, when you have so many parties in a celebratory mood, they're expecting to at least get something from the result. But we all know that is not the case. It has to be one winner and one party.
Well, if I get his sense, I think it's the supporters of the two major parties that are in celebration mode. Well, it goes with the territory, it goes with politicians, particularly Nigerian politicians. They do all sorts of interesting things, and so I'm not surprised. And even though by now, with the upload of the polling unit results on the IRF, they would have had a sense of how the results trended and how they are going to be announced. But all the same, I think it's also healthy for the system so that we await the formal declaration. Because if one party was looking morose or sorrowful, then the game would have been given away. So let's keep it that way until we see the final thing.
It doesn't give a good impression about who. I mean,
well, for me, so long as they are just jubilating. Nobody is taking the laws into his hands. And at the end of the day, when the results are announced, people will accept the outcome with calmness, and then if they have grievances, channel them appropriately through our courts and so on. But I think this conversation with Cynthia raises a lot of issues. And you can see that when an ugly trend begins to rear itself in the electoral process, instead of it to abate, it tends to intensify. Recall that this bypass of BVAS began in the 2023 general elections, and then it was escalated in the off-cycle governorship elections in November 2023. Now people are trying to intimidate the INEC staff with a view to making sure that these BVAS are being bypassed. But I understand that they resisted from other reports that we got this attempt to intimidate them into allowing the BVAS to be bypassed. But the point also is that learning from what happened in Bayelsa, where certain attempts were made to bypass the BVAS, the elections in those polling units were cancelled. So, I mean, that should teach us that it is futile to embark on bypassing the BVAS. It does not pay for you to bypass it, because at the end of the day, you know how it works is that if you even force the INEC staff to bypass the BVAS, he writes a report that has been made to bypass the BVAS and the duress. And once he does that, the commission will be compelled to cancel the result outright. So I think we need to understand some of these things that they don't pay. Instead, just follow the process. Instead of getting the entire result in that polling unit cancelled, at least you get some votes for your candidate. So you see that is what people don't look at. They are just looking at how to rig the system, rather than how to allow the system to give expression to their choices. And it's unfortunate also that observers are beginning to be harassed or intimidated by the security agencies. And I know that before the conduct of elections, even members of the security agencies go through training. They are trained by annex staff, just like the ad hoc staff are trained. They are also, put through the processes and told their responsibilities. And in 2023 and the last off-cycle elections, a small pocket publications were made in which the guidelines and their responsibilities are articulated and given to them, so that when you even reach the polling unit, you can take a look at it again to reprise yourself, to refreshing yourself about what your roles are. By the same token, I know that the Commission and EU, at a point, we are working on also an app that will have information relating to the responsibilities of the presiding officers at the polling units, which you can use your app, your Android, to log into and read. So these are all ways of reminding us that these are our responsibilities in case we have forgotten. So I'm surprised, but I have an idea as to why these things may be happening.
Okay.
Because in cases where both selling and buying are taking place, they take place in the full glare of the security agencies. Yes. But when they see reporters and they see observers, they either flee or they are compelled to do something about it. So it seems to me as if now one of the strategies is to intimidate the observers away from those places so that they can perpetrate all these things that they want to do.
Maybe perhaps that explains she mentioned of the fact that there's some in some polling unit you find there's absence of police officers, and then the issue of
confounding. If you are deploying 38,000 policemen plus another 8,000 security agencies other than the police, meaning that you have 44,000 security men on ground, and you have only just over 4,000, let's say nearly 5,000 polling units across the state, then you should have sufficient coverage of all these polling units by security agencies. I think it's confounding. It beats me that some polling units could go without security, and that means that the voters and the annex staff are at risk. Because the idea of the security agents being there is to secure the men, the materials, and the voters. So it means you are exposing these stakeholders to risk. If
then she also talked about a situation where there are, there's presence of security personnel that voters have been intimidated and they don't do anything about it.
Yes, so you see, that's what I'm saying, that in addition to intimidating annex staff and observers, you remember that even in the 2023 general elections, certain voters in certain states were intimidated with a view to suppressing them, suppressing their votes. That is making it impossible for them to vote for candidates of their choice. And these are things that should be resisted because it's not good for our democracy. The idea of the election is for everyone to be given the latitude, the leeway to peacefully vote, exercise his franchise, and if he wants to stay there until the returns have been made at that polling unit, he does so, or he leaves. So that's the essence. So by the time you start intimidating people, then the essence is defeated. By the time you start selling and buying votes, you transform the polling units into markets where you buy and sell. Then something is then we are derailing from the project. And these are things that going forward we need to address. And these disruptions, is concerning these disruptions you mentioned that took place in 3 collation centers. And I think that the Commission has a responsibility in this regard to review what happened there, to take another critical look at what happened in those places, using its power as vested on it by Section 65 of the Electoral Act 2022, which vests it with the right to review the conduct of any election where the guidelines or regulations or the law, the electoral law, may not have been scrupulously or diligently followed. And we have said even before now that the collation centers constitute the weakest link in the electoral process. And this has continued to manifest itself in recent elections, where elections will take place peacefully at the polling unit level, and then at the collation level, thugs and hoodlums will be sent at the behest of politicians to disrupt the collation at these centers. And you know, we are saying also that wherever you suspect that there will be such disruptions, because intelligence is gathered ahead of some of these things. And even the police, the security agencies proactively arrested some hoodlums who would have perpetrated violence following intelligence that they gathered. And that also may be the reason why the elections were very peaceful and nobody was killed. So the way to go is, since we now realize that apart from the polling units, the collation centers are vulnerable, we need to reinforce them. We need to put adequate security men. And you see, the thing also to do is, as you finish from the polling units, you are migrating to the collation centers. So that means you have a reservoir of the security men from these polling units that you can migrate to those collation centers to reinforce those that are already on the ground. So I think going forward, this is the security agencies need to look at the template that they're deploying, and then look at the challenges that are visiting the elections at each level, and then revisit the template in such a fashion as to reinforce those areas of where there are gaps or leakages. I think that's what to do.
Okay. Well, we'll now take some. We'll now pause for some messages. Our coverage of Edo State governorship election continues after.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, the land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, with undying demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we are more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree. We sway in color, we turn dark into light. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we are more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
What a transition we just had here in the studio of the Nigerian Television Authority for the 2024 Edo State Governorship election. I'd like to thank you for staying tuned. I'm Ayodeji Makinde, and a quick substitution in the studio as Musa Abubakar stepped aside, and now I am in. As you have here in the studio with me, Nick Dezang, a former Education and, of course, Enlightenment Officer with the Independent National Electoral Commission. Nick, it's good to be with you again. What a night we had yesterday, and the waiting game is still ongoing, Nick.
Yeah, it is, but I think in the next 1 or 2 hours, I'm sure the collation process should commence in earnest, and we should be able to know eventually who emerges victorious in this contest, which began peacefully yesterday. Even though there are a number of challenges. And you recall yesterday that we were observing, or rather I was emphasizing that the Commission and other stakeholders began strong, and there was the need to finish strong. And that one of the things that stakeholders have identified as the weakest link in the process, electoral process, is the collation centers. Sometimes when the security agencies and INEC manage to conduct stellar elections, by the time the action shifts or moves from the polling units to the collation centers, we begin to witness disruptions by hoodlums and thugs at the behest of their masters, who put spanners in the works. And so far, my fears have been confirmed. In about 3 or so collation centers, disruptions have occurred. We don't know the extent to which they affect the fidelity of these elections. By and by, we should know. But we are also encouraged by the fact that INEC now, by law, Section 65 of the Electoral Act mandates INEC to review the conduct of any election where the processes or the guidelines or the Electoral Act may have been breached. So, as opposed to the past, before the Electoral Act 2022, INEC cannot reverse the conduct or returns of any election until, such returns are taken to court. It's only a court of law that can reverse any return made, whether rightly or wrongly or stupidly. But now INEC has the right, as enshrined in Section 65 of the Electoral Act, to review such conducts. So we hope that INEC will now use its power as given to it by law to review some of these reports that we have had, and also the fact that we also learned that the collation of one of the local government elections, the results were done in the state collation center rather than the local government collation center. And we were saying in our discussions before now that since these collation centers are vulnerable, whenever intelligence is received to suggest that they may be under attack or they may there may be disruptions. But such places should be reinforced. And thankfully, we have not less than 44,000 security personnel deployed. And one would have thought that by the time you finish with the polling units, all you needed to do was to migrate every security man to these collation centers and give more attention to areas that you suspect there will be disruptions, so that everything takes place seamlessly, and then at the end of the day, we don't receive any complaints and people do not express any reservations, or there are no suspicions harbored about the conduct of the elections. I think this, for me, very concerning, and I just hope that at the end of the day, ANEC will be forthcoming regarding some of these developments that have taken place. They need to clear the air one way or the other as to what transpired in those places, whether the disruptions had any adverse consequences to the process or not, is key, so that at the end of the day, we rest assured that everything went according to plan.
Well, this is just, it's interesting to know how dirty some people can really be in processes of this nature. But another piece of information just reaching me right now, but before I come to that, I think it's only proper to let you know that following the conclusion of voting yesterday, the Commission activated INEC results viewing IREF portal and uploaded the polling unit results in earnest. The same results have also been collated from all the 192 wards. Similarly, collation has been concluded in most of the local government areas, and the designated officials are already at the collation center in Benin City, all on their way. We are set to commence state-level collation. However, the Commission received a deeply disturbed report from Resident Electoral Commission of a threat to office in Ikwabalha local government area yesterday, resulting in a stampede in which one of INEC officials was injured. INEC also is disturbed by the overnight presence and demonstration by some political actors and their supporters at the state head office ahead of the commencement of final collation. These actions, according to INEC, are uncalled for. Nobody should disrupt the process and at any stage, and no one will be allowed to benefit from lawlessness. For avoidance of doubt, the collation of results will proceed as provided by the Electoral Act 2022 and regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections. There is a mechanism for redressing complaints during collation, including the power to review results declared under duress. The Commission will not hesitate to invoke such powers where necessary. Accredited party agents, observers, and the media should be granted unimpeded access to all collation centers. INEC also calls on the security agencies to continue to maintain the same vigilance and professionalism that led to the peaceful conduct of the election as the process is about being concluded. Nick.
Well,
a statement from INEC?
I'm happy that they have spoken to some of the issues we have raised, because before now, before you now took over, I had expressed concerns about some of the things that have happened, and the need for INEC to be forthcoming. You see, it's not enough to begin well. It's always good enough to finish well and finish strong, especially when, of course, INEC's reputation itself is at stake. The security agency's reputation is at stake. Before now, all stakeholders were calling upon them to comport themselves impartially, with neutrality, with professionalism. We need to see all these in display. Nobody should have any doubt about the process. It has to be transparent all through, because we know that everything INEC does, it does so openly, transparently, and that should imbue this particular process. It should characterize this process from beginning to the end, that will earn it further confidence and trust of stakeholders, and that will also help it in its, the conduct of subsequent elections. Once people see that the process is transparent, whatever the outcome, they will gladly accept the outcome. But where there are doubts, where there are even iotas of doubt, then, you know, actions are cast, slows are cast, and these are things that should be diligently avoided. And I'm happy that they have continuously actively reacted. And we need also to see all this playing out in this collation process. All agents should be given access to the center. I think part of the complaint of one of the parties was that as they were doing one of the collations at the local government, their agents were not given access, which is contrary to the guidelines and regulations, if that is true. So people need to have access, and people need to make observations. Agents are free, and normally permission is given them to make observations about the collation for the record. And then their minds are disabused. The fact that you make an observation does not mean it will detract from returning the results, so long as those observations are not fundamental to what is happening. And so we hope that the process will commence now that everything has been uploaded on the IRF. And like I had said earlier on, the gladiators themselves would have known what they would have scored, and then what we are going to see is fulfilling all righteousness by INEC going through the motions, by manually collating, and then the returning officer making the returns for the conduct of this election.
All right, after this statement by the Independent National Electoral Commission concerning some flashpoints about the collation and, of course, results coming in from the different polling units to the state collation officer, let's have more perspectives now as we bring in Afabi Adekayoja, who is a research analyst at the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD. Of course, he joins us virtually from Benin. Now, Afolabi, thanks for joining our studio here in Abuja. Quite disturbing, but at least attention has been drawn to this latest development concerning the collation of results.
Yes, thank you for having me. So we're live in Benin. We deployed a number of observers, roving observers across all the 18 LGAs. And yes, one of the big concerns was that the rhetoric that many of the different parties have been pushing, the idea that you do or die affair needed to be done, dealt with very, very promptly, has heightened tension, and it wasn't only played with the voter turnout, also in the post-election process, where you still have to have the legitimacy of the process to ensure that citizens feel confident and comfortable with the process, and that whoever it is that comes in as governor is able to govern legitimately. So one of the big concerns that we're tracking right now is the fact that the collation process, like your guest mentioned, is some LGs has been carried out at the state office, and that is a contravention of the actual laid down process. So one of the main issues is now that parties are rightly making the complaint that this might actually have been something that will let an undue influence of the process. What we are hope for is that INEC can ensure that the different security agencies can play a big role in really dancing detention, that the different flashpoints that we've already been hearing about and are trying to confirm across different areas like Ikpobauha and Oredo are managed as best as possible, and that eventually all the different leaders and stakeholders can also issue statements to reduce the pressure on the state to ensure that citizens can still go about their day-to-day lives and ensure that the election process is not one that is marred by deaths or by any different issues, but one that just shows another milestone in a state and in a country's move towards a much more democratic landscape.
Now, from your observation during in the conduct of the election yesterday and the turnout, how necessary or unnecessary does it become for some of these disturbing news to emerge?
So the big challenge really is that before the election, INEC had made different promises, and different agencies had made promises that there would be enough processes done. And I think really all this ties into the sense where for quite a number of citizens in the state, they don't feel as though this process was as fair as it needed to be. And our data actually supports that. Of our observers that went to the field, 42% of them actually reported that INEC officials arrived late. That now meant that 76% of them actually reported that INEC, that voting started later than 8:30 in many different parts of the state. Even the latest one reporting as late as 11 a.m. Now, what this now meant was that even though INEC released a statement later on saying that anybody, that they would grant an extension, and obviously anybody who's on the queue at 2:30 p.m. can still vote as long as they were on the queue then, this led to a sense of disillusionment for many different citizens in the state. If you add to the fact that it rained in different parts of the state, we even got pictured by the rain as we went to observe. Quite a number of people were not as really drawn or as motivated to go out. And the third part was that there was already concern about tension, about the security, about the expected clashes between different groups, and that led to many people now saying that it might be safer or better for them to stay at home. The challenge now that we are seeing, before the election vote is now actually coming to play now, because now the question is now, so what went wrong? Who can we blame? And as you might be more privy to, many parties tend to not be as, quite quick to point the fingers at themselves. They tend to point at the other party. So the challenge now comes down to how do you ensure that even after these elections have been carried out, even when a new governor is sworn in November, that the lessons are learned and that the different steps that needs to be taken to ensure that a peaceful Edo is actually put in place. So far, even as late as last night, where we saw the different parties exchanging words in terms of the governor going to the INEC office and even the national secretary of the APC going to the office, these different things don't really help in trying to douse the tension, because what will happen is that many of the foot soldiers or many of their sponsored officials around the different parts of the state will obviously be trying to mobilize to ensure that they can preserve their mandate or to ensure that their votes are really heard. And both parties have claimed victory to different degrees. It's really one of those big challenges where INEC needs to be much more proactive with communication. I think the last point here will be that a major challenge that INEC has really been faced with, besides the planning, besides the logistics, has really been communication. It's really been about being proactive in saying, okay, fine, these are the different steps that need to be taken. These are where you can find the results. This is how you can ensure that each of the different steps that have been laid down in the process will actually be adhered to. And when there are challenges and when there is miscommunication, that they are active enough to come out before it becomes even a big rules that people are now covering, to really manage and to douse that tension. And I think that's a lesson that INEC needs to pick up again for future elections in Ondo in November, Anambra next year, and all the other elections that will be conducted.
Afolabi, I'd like to hold your thoughts there. We'll come back to you in the course of this conversation. Nick, some salient issues raised by Afolabi there in Benin about some challenges of INEC. You used to be an insider. Well, you're still inside. You're quite familiar with the operations of INEC, but these challenges seem quite difficult to overcome.
Yeah, but I think some of these challenges that we've observed are not INEC's making. Someone takes off, goes to the collation center, even when he's not a candidate. And I think there are ways of doing things. There are ways of expressing your grievances or reservations. You don't storm the office in a fashion as to suggest as if you are going to take over the place. And on election day or thereafter, the environment is still volatile, it's fragile, especially given what happened before now, when politicians were saying it was a do-or-die affair, and there was tension all over the state as a consequence of their kind of rhetoric. And I think some of these processes are in the public domain. The fact that when you finish the conduct of the election, you move to the ward for collation. From the ward, you go to the local government, and from the local government to the state collation center, where you do the final collation for state governorship elections. And also, it is well known, and it is a notorious fact that the collation centers have become vulnerable. And this vulnerability manifested itself eloquently and clearly during the conduct of the 2023 general elections, to the extent that several of these collation centers across the country were attacked. And that should show us that subsequently we should reinforce the security in these centers, because when it becomes more challenging for people to manipulate the election at the level of the polling unit, they will look elsewhere to do so. We are dealing with people who are desperate, and we are dealing with an environment in which people, like what Jide said yesterday, they invest humongous sums and they want to recover these sums within short periods of time. And then in town, the highest return on any investment is in politics. This is a country in which somebody will come to the National Assembly via luxury bus in the night, and the next day is a multimillionaire in dollars. So when the returns on investment are so high, people become very desperate. And that explains why they are ready to invest money, they are ready to buy, they are ready to steal in order to put into the process, knowing that within a very short time they will recoup that investment and make more money to deploy it to further use them in subsequent elections. So it has become like a business at the expense of delivering good governance, at the expense of providing infrastructure. And look at the country, how the infrastructure have decayed. They have atrophied. Look at our roads. Look at the Abuja-Kaduna road. It takes 5-6 hours for you to travel between Abuja to Kaduna. In those states where this election takes place, I served in the former Bendel state, and from Auchi to Benin, it used to take us not more than 1 hour. Now I understand it takes about 5 to 6 hours for you to move from that highway from Auchi to Benin. So and the last time, in fact, the bridge at Agenebode a few months ago collapsed. And all over the country, so many bridges, as a consequence of flooding, have collapsed. From the northeast to the northwest, to the north central, to the southwest, to the south-south. The so-called east-west road has been in atrophy. The last time the governor of Bayelsa State said he traveled from Yenagoa to Port Harcourt, and it took him 5.5 hours using the gubernatorial motorcade. We are not talking of using tuke-tuke. So you can just imagine the level to which we have descended, and some people are profiting massively from it. And as a consequence, they can therefore do anything, because that's how I call it. They can be reckless, they can attack people, they can maim, they can kill, they can traumatize. And when we know this, the thing is to be proactive, to prevent it before it happens, so that you don't put people's lives in harm's way. The people who are deployed to conduct these elections are our children. Your son or daughter sacrifices to go on election duty, he goes on national service, and then he comes back dead for serving his country. And simply because somebody wants to massage his frail and bloated ego. So we know these challenges and we know the consequences. We need to prevent them from happening. And this project, as I've always said, cannot be sustained on this basis of subverting. You cannot subvert yourself and expect to progress. It cannot work. And that is what the political class continues to do day after day. And, you know, we have kept the election management body, the INEC, under searchlight. The society has beamed its searchlight on INEC. And INEC has reformed itself over time. INEC has introduced technologies to improve the conduct of elections. But each time these improvements, these innovations are introduced, it is the same political class that goes out of its way, you know, to subvert and scoop out these processes. And that is what we are seeing. In other jurisdictions, elections will take place seamlessly, quietly. People will go and cast their votes. You won't even know elections are taking place, except for analysts like us who are discussing it on radio and television. But here it is a different ball game. You know, it's like you are bringing brimstone and fire. You know, so that is the challenge we have, and I think that the security force, the agencies need to do the needful at all times. Since these centers have been identified as being vulnerable, as soon as you take charge of the racks, you deploy, you conduct the election at the polling units. The next stage is collation. You now concentrate on those areas. You beam, you focus, you beam on them like the laser. Give them laser focus and reinforce these centers to the extent that they are so impregnable, they become fortresses nobody can penetrate and cause havoc. And then at the end of the day, we now have elections that are seamless and transparent from beginning to finish. Because if at the level of collation, everything goes awry, then the election would have all the efforts put, you know, from the preparation to the conduct becomes rubbish.
All right, Nick. Afolabi, let me bring you in on some other aspects that Nick has approached this statement by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The election in Edo State was supposed to be another platform to strengthen the belief of the people in the process. But at a time where it's all about, accordingly to some of these political party actors, at some point when it's all about return on investment, some would say it should be more about giving back to the people, dividend of democracy, and also service to the people. But sometimes it seems to be all about trying to get back what was invested in the process. This surely doesn't support the process of democracy.
Not just tied to this particular election, but across the democratic process in Nigeria, really, how do we change the relationship that citizens have with democracy? Because across the country and even across the region, we can see that citizens are getting a different interpretation of what democracy is, and definitely feeling that it hasn't really come through for them. If somebody doesn't feel as though a democratic government is going to, you know, either address the different socio-political issues that we have, then what is the incentive for them to come out and vote? What is the incentive for them to come out and support candidates who are, you know, actively and directly trying to ensure that they can really better their own different situations in the country? So really, there are different multiple questions that are going on, no doubt about it. But also a big election, but also how INEC itself functions. INEC sounds too big to fail, and the truth of the matter is that there are different responsibilities that the commission has either taken on or has that needs to be reviewed. Even in terms of the regulation of political parties, the issues around campaign finance, which your guest already touched on, in terms of how people feel like they need to invest money and then get their back when they have spent money on the campaign. Part of that needs to come down to how do we ensure that actually that the money that goes into the election process is not just clean but also fair, and also that it is reduced significantly. Because if you reduce that level of investment, and even when it comes to vote trading, then things would not be different. Many of our observers reported different instances of vote trading, 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira across different LGs, every senatorial zone, and these different reports just keep showing the fact that many citizens just felt, you know, really tied to the fact that they're just getting their money and they're going to do what they want to do, and it wasn't limited to a single party, which is why this particular idea is not just something that is tied to anything at federal level. Really, just a sense where parties felt that it was better for them to pay money to be able to get to go out and vote. How perception? Formally open. But I think just one last point really is a case where going forward, the current INEC national chair has 2 more elections to run, Ondo and then Anambra next year, and we expect that there will be a new INEC chair appointed by the end of next year. There needs to be significant advocacy in terms of determining how to review how this particular commission has performed. So what criteria will we use to give it either a pass mark or a fail mark? B, what are it actually being clear of stripping INEC's particular rules down. 3, which is of a particular concern to us at CDD, which is now that we have now seen the Supreme Court rule on local government autonomy, and there is this growing fixation on it that adding more responsibilities to INEC or even creating another national body, how do we actually make sure that elections in Nigeria are fit for purpose? And it's not just tied to the process itself, but even to the organizations that carry them out. If another body is created that is now meant to run all 774 local all the local government elections, how do we ensure that what we are seeing now for these different elections is not replicated on an even much more impactful scale? So there are many existential questions that needs to be addressed. And the challenge is that we tend to only have this conversation when it comes to the election day itself. The best time to prepare for the Edo 2028 elections is actually now. It's really a case of how do we now work in, how do we increase work with different citizens, how do we increase work on holding citizens and leaders to account? How do we really change that landscape? How do we make sure that the rhetoric, how do we make sure that security, even the preparation in terms of knowing that it's likely to be the rainy season, how do we make sure that all the different polling units are better delineated? It really starts now. And that's something that we are hoping that more other groups and other agencies, media groups and different stakeholders will be really keen on keeping that attention going so that things don't even devolve even further towards the next election.
Afolabi, I'm told that gradually activities are picking up at the State Collation Center, but as soon as we can establish a connection with the State Collation Center in Benin, we will be getting updates from there. But let's look more deeper into some other issues. If you take a look at the current situation, 17 political parties, 3 main gladiators, I think about 2 of them now in a neck-and-neck battle as the race continues to who's going to occupy the government house. Some analysts who want to say they're from the same political family, so to speak, but divided by different interests.
Absolutely. And I think one of the major concerns really has been that, for starters, none of the 2 candidates, like you already rightly mentioned, that are left in the race attended a governorship debate. So even on the eve of the election, they didn't take part. And it's that kind of scrutiny that helps voters and helps citizens to be better prepared in terms of knowing, okay, this is actually what this governor wants to do when he comes into office. And it also, at least, it helps to a candidate says, I want to be fine in 4 years. If you don't do A, B, C, D, then there's no reason for us to trust you with 4 more years. So it's really a case of how do we now change the engagement, how do we change the landscape, how do we change the different issues that are going on and make sure that we have a much more enlightened and a much more active election. We came for a pre-election assessment visit in August, and everyone that we spoke to, there was a sense of pride in Edo being a state of really intellectual and actually very politically enlightened voters. So I don't subscribe to the idea that this is a vote that really shows a different side to say. I think the question now comes down to clearly, whether as analysts, whether as media, whether as different groups that really deal with knowledge production, what were we listening to? What should we have been looking out for in terms of what citizens were saying that they wanted? Clearly, there have been a lot of comments about the current governor, the former governor, and their clash, and even letting him leaving the party 4 years ago. Different incumbent parties, the fact that there's a different incumbent party at the state level and a different one at the federal level. There'll be questions of federal might. This fear that the federal government will deploy different means available to it in terms of how it controls security and even INEC to be able to influence the outcome. But regardless of whatever happens, there still needs to be a very clear question in terms of, okay, fine, what was Edo looking out for in this work in trying to make sure that these particular concerns are either better presented, better actualized, and how do we ensure that going forward, whoever it is that becomes governor is held to account to ensure that they can actually deliver on that. At the end of the day, there is a limitation in terms of how observers and CSO groups like ours can actively start, putting any influence in the process. We can't, many of us cannot vote because we're not registered in the state. But the question now comes down to, so how do we ensure that the citizens are better prepared, better aware in terms of how to manage that particular process? Even when we go to INEC, even the Electoral Act that amended years ago was a result of sustained effort and advocacy by civil society to try to ensure that the amendments were carried out and that the necessary support that INEC would need for the elections was put in place. There needs to be another dialogue in terms of what does INEC now need going forward to ensure that it can actually be able to deliver on the promise of citizens. And I mentioned this at the beginning, and I'll end with this. Many people don't feel that democracy is actually working for them. There was an Afrobarometer report that came out a couple of weeks ago that actually stressed this point. And that's why we are seeing in other countries in the region, in Niger, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Mali, where there are military coups, and you see certain comments in places where they say, you know what, if the military government was to come in and deliver the basic, issues in terms of economy and healthcare, then why would we complain? So there needs to be a really strong introspection in terms of how do we practice democracy? How do we make sure that everybody, whether or not you're on the 1%, whether in the middle class, wherever you are, whoever you are, that you feel the effects of being in a democratic country, and how do we make sure that happens? Only that will ensure that we have more people coming out to vote. Only that will ensure that people are much more invested and interested in the process. And only that will ensure that we have a much more civic focused and civic-minded electorate and country.
Afolabi, already we're having live feeds from the States Collation Center in Benin. I'm sure we'll just have to bring that up now. Just stay somewhere there. Let's have these moments and, of course, get the latest from the States Collation Center.
Is representing Mrs. Maria and the welcome, sir. We also have the election support, Mr. Sheung Ogundike. You are welcome, sir. Members of INEC present, members of press, political party and civil society, you are all welcome to the INEC Collation Center. My name is Obebe Kalista for voter education. You are welcome. The next agenda is the remarks by the resident. We also have the visiting rep. You are all welcome here. The next in our midst is a remark by the Honorable Rep, Resident Electoral Commissioner.
The Honorable National Commissioner supervising the state, the Honorable National Commissioner in charge of voters education, the Honorable National Commissioner, and the Chairman of the Electoral Matters, the returning officer of today's event, Professor Farouk Adamu Kuta, the DSS Director's representative, the support, election support, the media, the political parties, the society group, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you. My assignment today is very simple. Simple in the sense that today we shall be witnessing the 13th item in our program, activity of program. It will be recalled that the Commission on 26th day of September 2003 published timetable and program of activities. We have conducted all of them seamlessly, and today, by the grace of God, we shall do the last one, which is election and declaration of result. Let me advise you too that when the returning officer will be calling the results, please be patient. INEC, we have promised you that we will conduct an election that is free, fair, credible, and all-inclusive. We also promise the people of Edo that nothing will make us to fail them. The election has been conducted, and you will see, you will soon hear the result. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Our returning officer, national commissioners present, our REC of Edo present, representative of the CP, representative of the DSS, political parties present, CSOs present, our RECs that came from far that has helped to conduct the election, you are welcome. Media that is here, I welcome you. I'm joining my residential commissioner to welcome you all into this hall. While we are here, we are at the last point of all preparations that we have done over 1 year. We conducted election yesterday, which was the last activity scheduled for the preparations. We are here to collate what we have gathered from the local government areas. I believe that our uploading of results into the IREV was excellent, and I know that all of us here, we have already entered the IREV to see what is there. There is nothing to hide. We are transparent, but here we also just want to collate what they have already collated at the LGAs, and then the final results will be announced. But I want to tell us that as we continue, already we have about 14 or 15 results ready. As we continue, others will come in. I want to assure you that the writing has been done and that everybody should exercise patience and be civil, that at the end of this exercise, everybody will be happy and we will go home happy. Welcome you once again to this very collation exercise that we have come. Thank you very much.
We want to also recognize the president of political parties here. Please, you can stand up for recognition.
Good morning. My name is Jared Tineb. I am representing All Progressive Congress, APC. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I stand on a already existing product. I remain my humble self, Honorable Ambassador Morobai Joseph, Executive Chairman, Accord. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Greg Ibidonwaya. I'm the chairman of People's Redemption Party in Edo State.
Good morning. My name is Chief Efe Tobo. I'm the state coalition agent of APP.
Democratic Party, PDP. My name is Barrister President Ike Boha. I stand in for Zenith Labour Party.
My name is Agatise Raphael. I'm an officer for the People's Party, NNPP. Thank you.
Any other party present? Please, let's recognize the Commandant, Agu Benga, NSCDC, Edo State. Sir, you are welcome. The next in our list is a remark by our Honorable Mr. Sam Olume. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. The national. Let me hand over the microphone to our National Commissioner.
Good afternoon, all. It is my pleasure to introduce the returning officer of yesterday's election in person of Professor Farouk Musa Adamu, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Minna. So you are welcome, sir. I think my
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everybody. I want to believe that the protocol has been duly established. And on the strength of that, we want to start straight away. Again, let me correct one impression. The full name is, I am Professor Farouk Adamukuta, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Minna in Niger State. And for today, I am the State Returning Officer for Edo State gubernatorial election that took place yesterday, the 21st September 2024. The rules of the game are very simple, and I pray that all of us will understand the situations at hand. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of our being here is simple. We are to collect results that have been assembled at the local government. And so we'll put them together, and the final point, we add these figures together, and then we announce the winner of the election. Therefore, please, we will expect much understanding. And please, whenever you want to raise issues, have it at the back of your mind that we are dealing with reality. These are votes that have been casted, they have been articulated, they've been collated, and they are here from the various local governments for us to put them together and then announce the winner. Please, 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 let's be civil, let's be mature, let's be decent, let's be very respectful in our approach. We are willing more than ever before to listen to each complaint, but in doing that, we will not waste much time because we have responsibility to collect these figures here. Thank you very much, and may God help us as we continue with this exercise. Thank you very much. Please, can we have the list of local government areas that are already with us and the votes have been reconciled? The list, please, so that we take them one by one. And please, for your information, local government coalition officers, you cannot appear before us here without your EO, that is the electoral officer of that local government. And that is why we have about 2 chairs there. By the time you come, please help us introduce yourself and your status. The local government coalition officer and then the EO. We need to know their names. And that is how we'll be going. After the introduction, you tell us the number of words, having given us the name of the local government. Tell us the number of words in each local government or the local government you covered. And then you now begin to tell us the total number of registered voters, and in that order, up to, the point at all the political parties, the votes they are able to gather. And I think that is the way we will be going. It will be very systematic. So I implore each and every one of us to be patient, please. Thank you very much. So, we have the first local government, Igwe local government. Igwe local government. The pronunciation. Igwe local government, please. Where is the... the EO and then the local government returning officer, please. Collation officer. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Please, you have your mic there? No extra mic? The EO, please tell us your name, and then the local government collation officer will also introduce himself, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Amula Owintari, electoral officer of Igwebe local government. My name is Amula Owintari, the electoral officer of Igwebe local government.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Professor Haruna Ibrahim from the Federal University of Technology in Mina. I serve as the local government collation officer for Igwebe local government area in the gubernatorial election that was held yesterday, 21st of September 2024. Igwebe has 10 wards. Elections were conducted successfully. Results were collated, and the following details I will present. Number of registered voters stood at 54549. 54549. 545. Please take it again. 54,549. 54549.
That's okay.
Number of accredited voters 15,274. 15274. The parties performed as follows. Party AA. Party A scored 1 vote. 1 vote. AA scored 0. Party AAC scored 4 votes. 4 votes. ADC scored 49 votes. 49. ADP 18 votes. 18. APC scored 5907. 5907. ABGA 10 votes. 10 votes. APM 0. Party APP 2 votes. BP 3 votes. 3 votes. LP 494. 494. NNPP scored 5 votes. 5 votes. NRM 13 votes. 13. PDP scored 8470 votes. 8470. PRP 10 votes. 10 votes. SDP 1 vote. YPP 2 votes. ZLP 0. Total valid votes stood at 14,989. 14989. 278 votes were rejected. 278. The total vote cast stood at 15,267. 15267. I so present.
Thank you. The LGA Collation Officer, please, was there any polling unit or ward whose election was cancelled?
There was no cancellation.
Fine. All right. Party agents, please. Party agents. Party agents, please. Any observation, comments? Thank you very much. Please, the local government coalition officer, you can present. Tia, no, please don't go. Let us have the result. Original copy. Thank you very much. East and West. East and West. Yeah, please, the EO, introduce yourself, after which you hand over the mic to the collection officer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Obino Sebastian. Obino Sebastian. I'm the electoral officer of Esan West local government area.
Thank you, sirs. I am Professor Ojo Michael Akindele from the Federal University of Technology, Mina, Niger State. I served as the coalition officer for Esan West local government. In this local government, we have 10 wards. 10 wards. And the results are as follows. The number of registered voters, 113,057. 113,067, sorry. Then the total number of accredited voters, 25,702. 25,702. And the votes received by political parties as follows. Party A, 0. Party A, 0. Party AA, 2. Party AA, 2. Party AAC, 11, 1. Then Party ADC, 87, 87. Party ADP, 39. Party ADP, 239. Party APC 12,952. APC 12952. Then ABGA 23. ABGA 23. Then APN 12 1 2. APP 0. APP 0. BP 4. BP 4. LP 342. 342. NNPP 8. NNPP 8. Then we have NRM 121 121. PDP 11004 11,004. PRP 72. Then SDP 2. SDP 2. YPP 9. YPP 9. ZLP 3. ZLP 3. Total valid votes 24,691. 24691. Rejected votes 693. 693. Then total vote cast 25,384. 25,384. Signed by me and the party agents.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the local government election officer. Again, I asked, was there any polling unit or ward whose result was cancelled?
No, sir.
Fine. Thank you very much. Party agents, please. Observe any comments? No comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Asian West. On one West. All right, so please introduce yourself. You hand over the mic to the local government coalition officer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Udo.
Please, one house, the of the praise, please. One house. Can we have gentlemen of the praise, please? Thank you, sir.
My name is Udo Odudu, SE, Electoral Officer, Onwa West Local Government Area. Thank you.
My name is Professor Abdulkarim Ambalisaka. I'm the Collation Officer for Owan West Local Government Area with 11 registration area. The result of the election conducted yesterday, being 21st of September 2024 are as follows. Number of registered voters, 67,076. 67076. 67076. Number of accredited voters, 24,311. 24311. Party A, 4 votes. Party A, 4 votes. Party AA, 1. Party AA, 1. Party AAC, 0. Party AAC, 0. Party ADC, 41 votes. Party ADC, 41 votes. Party ADP, 47 votes. Party ADP, 47. Party APC, 12,277. 12277. 12277. Afghan, 12. Afghan, 12. APM, 0. APM, 0. APP, 0. APP, 0. Party BP, 1. Party BP, 1. Party LP, 201. Party LP, 201. Party LP, 201. Party NNPP, 2. NNPP, 2. NRM, 21. NRM, 21. PDP, 11284. PDP, 11,284. 11284. Party PRP, 8. Party PRP, 8. Party SDP, 0. Party SDP, 0. Party YPP, 1. YPP, 1 vote. ZLP, 4 votes. CELLP, 4. Total valid vote, 23,904. Total valid votes, 23904. Rejected vote, 391. Rejected vote, 391. Total votes cast, 24,295. Total vote cast, 24295. Total vote cast, 24295.
Wait, please. Total vote cast. Take it one by one, please.
Total valid vote, 23904.
Yes.
23904.
Yeah.
Rejected vote, 391.
Yes.
Total vote cast, 24295. 24295.
Thank you. The government coalition officer, please. Was there any result that was cancelled?
No, sir.
And all right. So, party agents, please. Party agents, thank you very much. Thank you. The results. Ohuade, please permit me, the pronunciation may be faulty, please. Ohuade local government. Ohuade local government area, please. please introduce yourself, after which you hand over the mic to the local government collation officer, please. Please, can we have one house, please? Gentlemen of the press, please, can we have one house? Madam? I think we are here to listen to the votes that have been read out. Please, let's be quiet. Please go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Samuel Udo, electoral officer for Onwode Logo area.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Jimo Oladejo Tijani from Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State. I serve as the collation officer for Onwode local government area of Edo State yesterday. And here are the breakdown of the total number of registered voters.
Tell us the number of wards.
We have 10 wards. We have 10 wards in Onwode. All right. Total number of registered voters, 92169. 92169. Total number of accredited voters, 20044. Total number of accredited voters, 20044. Here are the breakdowns of the votes got by each party. Party A, 04. Party A, 04. Party AA is 04. Party AA is 04. Party AAC 11. Party AAC 11. Party ADC 125. Party ADC 125. Party ADP 32. Party ADP 32. Party APC 8776. Party APC 8776. Party ABGA 30. ABGA 30. Party APM 06. Party APM 06. Party APP is 04. Party APP is 04. Party BP is 01. Party BP is 01. LP 769. LP 769. NNPP 62. NNPP 62. NRM 24. NRM 24. PDP 9339. PDP 9339. PRP 13. PRP 13. SDP 00. SDP 00. YPP 10. YPP 10. ZLP 13. ZLP 13. Total valid votes 19223. Total valid votes 19223. Rejected votes 553. Rejected votes 553. Total vote cast 19776. Total vote cast 19776. This result was signed by me and all the party agents present. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Was there any polling unit or ward whose result was cancelled?
None, sir.
Comments from the political parties, please. Yes, please. Mike, give him the mic. Somebody to help.
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to state, I know you're here for collation. As you mentioned earlier, I just want to put you on notice that as someone who has read manufacturing engineering, to manufacture is to make things on a large scale. The votes for APC in Wode have been inflated. Same thing with Igwebe. I just want to put you on notice. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Please, do you have something different?
Well, I am representing APC.
All right, sir.
The votes, as announced, are the proper vote casted and are the correct votes. So I don't know where...
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any other comments? So please, Collation Officer LGA, please. Thank you. Ovia Northeast. Ovia Northeast. Ovia Northeast. So, EO, introduce yourself, after which you hand over the mic to the local government collation officer. Please, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anefiok Mark Chira, the electoral officer of Ovia Northeast.
My name is Professor Joe Madu, a professor of cultural economics from Federal University of Technology, Mina. I serve as the collation officer for Ovia Northeast local government with 13 areas, 13 wards, for which I now present the results.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Number of registered voters 177,106. 177,106. Number of accredited voters 32441. 32441. Then number received by the various political parties. Party A 17. Party A 17. Party AA 08. Party AA 08.
To the
okay. Party AA 08. Party AAC 24. Party AAC 24. Party ADC 187. Party ADC 187. Party ADP 90. Party ADP 90. Party APC 13225. Party APC 13225. Party ABGA 48. Party ABGA 48. Party APM 13. Party APM 13. Party APP 09.
Please take it again. One.
Okay.
A what?
APM 13. APM 13. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. APP 09. APP 09. BP 12. BP 12. LP 1675. LP 1675. NNPP 37. NNPP 37. NRM 40. NRM 40. PDP 15311. 15311. PRP 34. 34. SDP 04. YPP 23. YPP 23. ZLP 26. ZLP 26. Total valid votes 30783. 30783. Rejected votes 1312. Rejected votes 1312. Total votes cast 32097. 32095, not 7. 32095. Sorry for that.
095.
32095, not 97. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. LGA sir?
Yes.
Was there any case where results was cancelled?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. Party agents, comments, please. Please identify yourself, tell us your name, and then the party you are standing in for. Thank you.
Dr. Tony Osaibobo, I represent the People's Democratic Party. Ovia Northeast I wish to put on notice that there was no BVAS accreditation, and our results were just assigned in Ward 2, Unit 6. In Ward 5, Unit 12 and 13, there was overvoting. The votes returned were more than the votes BVAS accredited. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other observation? Please, I don't think, you want to, there is no point.
Yes, because I don't know why he will continue.
No. We are dealing with a reality. Please,
I also want to observe, please.
Okay, please.
I would understand the reason why he would start saying what BVAS accredited and what BVAS did not accredit. My observation is the results as announced from what we got from our agents from the wards tally with what is just announced here. That's what I want to.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please, the LGA Collation officer, can you? Oh, you. No, sir. I don't think this place is for us to.
When somebody
please make
say something, it's good I respond. Maybe we need to educate him. I think somebody. Excuse me. You have somebody from voter education here. You set guidelines, sir, as INEC. When you set guidelines, we expect that the least you can do in a process like this is to follow your guidelines, the rules, the law. So
thank you very
somebody
much.
that is representing the APC doesn't know
thank you
and
very
is
much.
asking why, it means that, well, I don't know. I made my point. Thank you.
Please, I can see somebody at the extreme end. The man in white, please.
Thank you, Prof. My name is President Agboka. I'm from the ZLP. My observation is that the cancelled vote is too high. It's over 1,000 votes.
Which one is cancelled? Is it rejected votes?
Rejected votes. It's too high for that area. So we are thinking that if you can use your administrative office to also check what may be wrong with those votes and also inquire into the objection already being raised by the PDP before you conclude on the votes.
It is noted. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Okay, we have the next local government is Ishan Southeast. Ishan Southeast. All right, you know the protocol. Tell us your name, the EO. After which you hand over the mic to the local government coalition officer. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. My name is Utuak Umo, Electoral Sun South.
Good day, all. My name is Professor Ikechukwu Diogu from the Federal University of Technology, Mina. I'm the local government coalition officer for Esan Southeast in the 2024 Edo governorship election. There are 10 registration areas in the local government.
Please go ahead.
Number of registered voters, 90240. 90240. Number of accredited voters, 2.
Please, let's have one house. Let's have one house, please.
Number of accredited voters, 23390.
Please take it again.
23390.
All right.
The votes for the various parties are as follows. A, AA 2, AAC 2121, ADC 2323, ADP 707, APC 8398, 8398, 8,398, APGA 18, APM 0, APP 0, BP 1, LP 98.
Sorry, please. APP is what?
0. BP 1. LP 98. NNPP 0. NRM 7. PDP 14199. 14199. 14,199. PRP 3. SDP 0. YPP 1. ZLP 2. Total valid votes 22780. 22780. Rejected votes 356. 356.
Yes.
Total votes cast 23136. 23136. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Was there any ward polling unit whose result was cancelled and reason for the cancellation, if any?
None.
None?
None.
Thank you. Party agents, please. All right. Thank you. Please, you may come forward to present the result. Ego local government. Ego. That's all right. Yes, please. Good afternoon, all. My name is Boma Bamson, electoral officer Ego, local government area.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Professor John Adama from Federal University of Technology, Mina. I was the collation officer for EGO LGA. And in EGO LGA, we have 10 registration areas. And the results are as follows. Number of registered voters, 242,266. 242,266. Number of accredited voters, 354,63. Number of accredited voters, 354,63. The votes for all the parties that participated in the elections as at yesterday are as follows. A party, 14 votes. AA party 03 votes. AAC, sorry, please go slow. Okay, sir. I rewind. Yes, please. A party 14 votes. A party 14 votes. AA party 03 votes. AA party 03 votes. AAC 18 votes. AAC 18 votes. ADC 195. ADC 195. ADP 70 votes. ADP 70. APC 16760. APC 16760. ABGA 48. ABGA 48. APM 08. APM 08. APP 13. APP 13. BP 28. BP 28. LP 1966. LP 1966. NNPP 43. NNPP 43. NRM 95. NRM 95. PDP 14658. PDP 14658. PRP 46. PRP 46. SDP 03. SDP 03. YPP 31. YPP 31. ZLP 23. ZLP 23. Total valid votes 34022. Total valid votes 34022. Rejected votes 1018. Rejected votes 1018. Total votes cast 35040. Total votes cast 35040. And the agents present, they endorse the results accordingly.
Thank you very much. The LGA Collation Officer, was there any polling unit or ward whose result was cancelled?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. Party agents, please.
Yes, please.
Again, my name is Tony Osaiboboye. I represent the PDP. And growing up, I used to hear that fella music where they say government magic. This is another case of manufacturing. The PDP clearly won the elections in Lagos. We have proof. And it also, I must bring to your notice, sir, that against your own laws. The collation for the local government that is supposed to, by your law here, be done at the local government wasn't allowed to be done there. The first material and your officers from INEC to come to this place yesterday while the process was still ongoing, which is against your very clear laws here. We want to go. INEC has again manufactured results that are going to be presented to you for collation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, I hope it's not for countering, please. Give him mic, give him mic.
Well, the results as announced is a clear reflection of what happened in the field and what was collected. Those are the results. If there were skirmishes, it must be as a result of talks from the other side that we're trying to swap on them.
Please, let us know. Please, you have made your point.
That are wanted as agents.
Made your point. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please.
Thank you very much. I remain my very humble self, Honorable Ambassador Morogba Joseph, State Chairman, Accord. I believe why we are here is for clarity. And if anybody is raising any observation, it is clear that that person has an issue which you want to buttress. I think it isn't wise, and it is not wise for any other person to stand up and start countering it, because it will result to fiasco. And that is why we are for peace and we are for integrity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please. The last man there, the man with the white, the last man.
Just one point, sir. My name is President Agboha. My observation is that the result uploaded in IRA for EGO is adverse to what has just been declared. So we'll use administrative power under the law to also review it. That's our appeal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please hand over the mic. Yes, please take the mic and make your case.
Good afternoon, sir, Mr. Returning Officer. My name is Giwa Victor. I am one of the domestic observers from the civil society organization. Mr. Returning Officer, sir, my question is this. This is...
Please, what is it that you want to ask?
I want to add on base on what was said.
You want to add?
No.
Or add?
Add, yes.
Please, go ahead.
Yes. What I'm saying is this, and the question is this. This action is both administrative and legal. I would expect that under the law, the Electoral Act, Section 60, sub 5, if any party has anything counter to what has been announced, under the Electoral Act, Section 65, it should, the agent, any of the agent who is here, should have identified that particular result for the purpose of the returning officer, because your duty here is coalition. I think it is not enough for you to, for anybody to make an open allegation. I would have expected that any of the party agent should come with particulars. For example, in unit A, B, and C, I have the result here from our agent, and it's against what you have just announced, so that the coalition officer,
please,
the return officer can complete.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But please, ladies and gentlemen, let's understand something here. We are here to collect votes. If there are issues, please make it formal, so that we can make progress. I think that is just the way forward. Make it formal, and then we continue with our collation. Thank you very much, please. So, local government collation officer. Thank you. Akoko Edo. Akoko Edo local government.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mrs. Suleiman A. Blessing, Electoral Officer, Akuku Edo Local Government.
Good afternoon. My name is Professor Solomon Dauda Musa from the Federal University of Technology, Mina. I was the collating officer for the Akoko Edo Local Government Area Council. The council has 10 wards and with the following votes. Number of registered voters 144,379. 144,379. Number of accredited voters 543,95. 543,95. Party A scored 13 votes. 1-3. Party A 13 votes. Party AA 16 votes. 1-6. 16 votes. Party AAC 9 votes. 9 votes. Party ADC 75 votes. 75 votes. Party ADP 195 votes. 195 votes. Party APC 34847 votes. 34847 votes. 34,847 votes. ABGA 59 votes. 59 votes. APM 1 vote. 1 vote. APP 4 votes. 4 votes. BP 2 votes. 2 votes. LP 2239 votes. 2239 votes. NNPP 15 votes. 15 votes. NRM 19 votes. 19 votes. PDP 15865. 15865. PRP 8 votes. 8 votes. SDP 155. 155. YPP 16. 16. ZLP.
Please take it slowly.
Okay.
The one before YPP, you said is what?
SDP.
Yes, please.
155 votes.
155 votes. 5 votes.
YPP.
Yes.
16 votes.
16.
ZLP.
Yes, please.
9 votes.
9 votes. Thank you.
Total valid votes 53547. 53547. 53547. Rejected votes 331. 331. Total vote cast 53878. 53878. The result sheet is duly signed by the party agents and myself, Professor Solomon Dauda.
Thank you very much. Was there any polling unit or ward where results were cancelled?
We don't have cancellation, but we have some polling units that vote was not carried.
Any reason?
We have Ward 6, polling unit 1. The reason was there was a vehicle breakdown on the way to convey the voting materials.
Okay.
And total number of registered voters, 209.
What about the PVC collected?
100%, 209.
Okay.
Then Ward 7, we have 2 polling units. Reason for voting not carried out was the ballot papers were missing for the 2 units. The number affected is 256 registered voters, cumulative for the 2 units.
256.
256.
Okay.
And then the total number of PVC collected, 256 as well.
Okay.
So total number of...
Don't worry, you have documents to support all the issues. Thank you very much. Comments from the party agents, please. Yes, please introduce yourself and the party you stand with. Sorry.
Again, my name is Tony Iyoha. I represent the PDP. I also want to notice that even on IREV, we are seeing a unit where there are 77 people accredited, but APC was assigned a manufactured 107 votes. I will give a few others. In Oloma, Okpe, Kakuma, we had a total accredited votes 0, no BVAS. But the APC was assigned 800 votes. 800 manufactured votes. In another unit, BVAS accredited 107. But the total votes cast was 638, where APC was assigned 365 manufactured votes. In another unit, where there were only 39 accredited voters, the APC were assigned a manufactured 400. In several others where there was no BVAS accreditation, APC was assigned 283 and 174 votes. However, I just want to put this to you, let it be your notice, that this manufacturing will continue as we go on with this exercise. Because this is an exercise where agents of the PDP were locked out of collation process. We did not have agents when these results were being collated by INEC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, I don't want any counter. He has actually made his case.
Well, these matters that is raising because he called the APC were dealt with at the Collation Center. And I'm sure the copies that they are reading out here are matters that have been dealt with and all agents signed. And again, I don't know the BVAS he was looking at. If he was looking at those BVAS in government house, I don't know. The BVAS we have tallies with what we have.
Please,
thank you.
Please,
thank you,
just
sir.
make our case.
Thank you, sir.
Very much. Thank you. Any other observation? Okay. The LGA Collation Officer, please, with all the necessary documents. Thank you. The next one is the Asian Central local government. Asian.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is John Adiel, the Electoral Officer for Esan Central Local Government Area.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Professor Robert O. Opori from Federal University of Technology, Mina. Okay. The Esan Central local government has 10 wards. Then the number of registered voters is 68338. 68338. Number of accredited voters is 20580. 20580. Votes the parties have now. Part A is 2. Part A is 2. Part AA is 0. Part AA is 0. Part AAC is 9. Part AAC is 9. ADC is 81. That's 81. Part ADC is 81. ADP is 26. ADP 26. APC is 10990. 10990. ABGA 16. ABGA 16. APN 2. APN 2. APP 0. APP 0. BP 1. BP 1. LP 418. LP 418. NNPP 2. NNPP 2. NRN 1. NRN 16. PDP 8 6 1 8. PDP 8 PRP 7. PRP 7. SDP 0. SDP 0. YPP 6. YPP 6. ZLP 4. ZLP 4. Total valid votes 20198. Total valid votes 20198. Rejected votes 361. Rejected votes 361. Total votes cast 20559. Total votes cast 20559. Chairman, this is the result we have here. Thank you. And it is signed by myself, who is the collation officer of ESAN, and the agents have also signed.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Was there any polling unit ward whose result was cancelled? And if, what are the reasons?
Nothing, sir. No result cancelled, sir.
Thank
no
you.
center cancelled.
Thank you. Party agents, please. Yes, please.
Representing the PDP, my name is Tony Osaibo. INEC has manufactured again. I won't say much. This is ridiculous. These are not the results that obtained at the poll. So when the person reading out the scores tells us that they were signed, we all know where we have these documents. Because when you get to court, they are going to say, well, if you didn't sign, it doesn't invalidate the process. So please, I want to put it on notice that this result is far the worst that has been announced so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other observation? Thank you very much. The LGA Collation Officer, please, can you hand over the results to us? Thank you, Asian Central, Asian Northeast, Asian Northeast. Thank you. Where is the EO? The EO for East. Madam, the EO, tell us your name, and then you hand over the mic to the LGA Collation Officer. Thank you very much.
Okay. My name is Uduak Okon Obut, the Electoral Officer for Eastern Northeast.
Thank you. My name is Professor Ndanita Mohammed Atairu, a professor of agricultural economics from the Federal University of Technology. I'm the coalition officer of Eastern Northeast. Eastern Northeast has a total of 11 wards. Now, informations. Number of registered voters 106,280. 106,280. Number of accredited 430. Number of accredited voters 24430. Again, I say number of accredited voters 430.
Please, sorry, please. Who is the person that said again? Please, nobody should interrupt the local government coalition officer. The powers rest on the state recruiting officer, please. Please.
Now, scores by various parties. Party A, 2. Party AA, 2. Party AAC, 13. Party AAC, 13. Party ABC, 100. Party ADC, 100. Party ADP, 48. Party ADP, 4 votes. Party APC, 10648. Party APC, 10648. Party APGA, 20. Party APGA, 20. Party APM, 8. Party APM, 8. Party APP, 3. Party APP, 3. Party BP, 1. Party BP, 1. Party LP, 194. Party LP, 194. Party NNPP, 8. Party NNPP, 8. Party NRM, 40. Party NRM, 40. Party PDP, 1222. Party PDP, 12522. Party PRP, 9. Party PRP, 9. Party SDP, 1. Party SDP, 1. Party YPP, 8. Party YPP, 8. Party ZLP, 10. Party ZLP, 10. Total valid votes 23637. Total valid vote 13637. Rejected votes 674. Rejected votes 674. Total votes cast 24311. Total votes cast 24311. And that is the result of this local government.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please, was there any polling unit or ward where results were cancelled or there was no election? And if there is any, what are the reasons, please?
Not before my table, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, please, party agents, please. No, just sit down. Local government, sit down. Party agents. Yes, please.
I represent the APC. I just want to register my concern about this result. I will not be going into detail because we don't have certified true copies of the accredited voters from BVAS. So I'll be reserving that for another day. I just want to make it known. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other observation, please? Or the LGA, can you present your result?
And I want to inform you that I signed this report and was signed by all the parties that were present, party agents. Thank you very much.
Ovia Southwest. Ovia Southwest. Ovia Southwest. Yes, please. Madam, tell us your name, and then you hand over the mic to the LGA Collation officer. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Major Akpe Onyebi Christie, the electoral officer, Ovia Southwest.
Thank you. My name is Professor Matthew Tibangi Kolo, Professor of Radiation Physics from Federal University of Technology, Mina. I serve as the Collation Officer for Ovia Southwest Local Government in the just concluded election that was held on Saturday, the 21st of September, 2020. Presented flowing are the details of the result. Number of registered voters 112.
Sorry, before you go into that, the number of RAs wards, please.
Okay, the Ovia Southwest local government has total number of 10 wards. 10 wards. The number of registered voters 112091. 112091. Number of accredited voters 23196. 23196.
6. Votes accrued to individual parties. Party A, 1-5. Party A, 1-5. Party AA, 0-4. Party AA, 0-4. AAC, 1-0. AAC, 1-0. ADC, 138. ADC, 138. ADP, 7-1. ADP, 7-1. APC, 10150. APC, 10150. APGA, APGA, 40. 40. APM, 13. APM, 13. APP, 07. APP, 07. BP, 10. BP, 10. LP, 849. LP, 849. NNPP, 18. NNPP, 18. NRM, 36. NRM, 36. PDP, 10260. PDP, 10260. PRP, 44. PRP, 44. SDP, 03.
Sorry, PRP,
44. PRP, 44.
Yeah, please.
SDP, 03. SDP, 03. YPP, 23. YPP, 23. ZLP, 19. ZLP, 19. Total valid votes, 21710. Total valid votes, 21710. Rejected votes, 1086. Rejected votes, 1086. Total votes cast, 22796. Total vote cast, 22796. The result was signed by me as the collation officer and the other party agents that were present. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you. Please, was there where Was there any polling unit or ward where the result was cancelled or there was no election? And the reason, if there is any, please.
There was none.
Thank you. Party agents, please. Party agents. Right up, okay? The man at the extreme end.
Thank you, returning officer. My name is President Ike Bohan for the ZLP. I'm concerned with the rejected votes, over 5%. And we are saying that if that rejected vote is looked into, we may have gotten more votes. But importantly, is that the INEC should also take responsibility on voters' education. That if we can have 5% of votes rejected, that is a big issue for INEC. Thank you.
My brother, I think I want to differ with you a little bit. It is not only INEC that should educate Nigerians on how to vote. The party, beside the presentation of their manifestos, they also have responsibility to educate the voters. Please, I think it's also very important. So that at the end of it, you now begin to key in those type of voter education in your programs when you are embarking on a presentation of manifestos. Thank you very much. All right, sir, please.
Still on the voters' education. Most importantly, I remain Honorable Ambassador Morugbe Joseph Diako Chairman. Still on the voters' education, we can see that the bogus numbers of this rejected vote is coming from the very remote areas, and that is where voter education plays very pivotal roles. Apart from the political party doing the duty which assigned them, equally, INEC as the umpire has that greater role to play. It's not just for the political party alone, because this party particular numbers, the percentage is very high. It's coming from the.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, please. Thank you. Thank you. So the LGA coalition officer, please present the result. Thank you. Ohio Ward, government area. Ohio Ward, government area, please. Yes, please. The EO.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Williams Alamina, Electoral Officer, Orewa Local Government.
Good afternoon. My name is Professor Musa Al-Hassan, a Professor of Civil Engineering from Federal University of Technology, Minna. I serve as the Collation Officer for Orewa Local Government. And here are the result of the election conducted, governorship election conducted on 21st September 2024. The local government has a total of 12 RA, 12 votes. Total number of registered voters, 139260. 139260. Accredited voters, 33196. 33196. 8 vote. A, 8 vote. AA, 1. AA, 1. AAC, 6. AAC, 6. ADC, 139. ADC, 139. ADP, 44. ADP, 44. APC, 16059. 16059. ABGA, 29. ABGA, 29. APM, 14. APM, 14. APP, 8. APP, 8. BP, 13. BP, 13. LP, 556. LP, 556. NNPP, 6. NNPP, NRM, 35. NRM, 35. PDP, 14614. PDP, 14614. PRP, 7. PRP, 7. SDP, 3. SDP, 3. YPP, 1, 2. YPP, 1, 2. ZLP, 5. ZLP, 5. Total valid votes, 31559. 31559. Rejected votes, 1091. 1091. Total vote cast, 32650. 32650. The result was duly signed by me and all the political party agents present. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The AG Collation for O1, okay, Orion 1 local government. Was there any polling unit ward where there was no election or the results were cancelled?
Yes, there was one polling unit in Uboko RA.
What's the reason for? Was it cancellation or there was no?
The area was not accessible by the electoral officers, so they were not able to deliver material to the site. So election did not take place there, sir.
All right.
The total number of registered voters there is 219.
219.
Yes. PVC collected 188.
188.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other? Okay, party agents, please. Yes, please. We start from the extra.
Tony again is my name. I represent the PDP. I also want to state that INEC, as local manufacturers, manufactured votes for APC in this election. The PDP won Orioma local government area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other observation from party agents? All right. What party do you represent, please? No, please. These observations are specifically meant for party agents, please. Thank you. So, the LGA Collation Officer, please, can you forward the results and the necessary particulars for that result, where the election could not hold? Thank you. 01 West. 01 West. Sorry, 01 East. Sorry, 01 East. I'm sorry, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Stella Ole, election officer, Onwa East Local Government.
Good afternoon. My name is Professor Abubakar Danladi Isa from Federal University of Technology, Mina. I served as the collation officer for Owan East Local Government Area for the 2024 governorship election in Edo State, which was held yesterday. In Owan East, there are 11 wards, and the results is as follows. Total number of registered voters, 106,252. 106,252. Number of accredited voters, 34618. 34618. Discussed according to the political parties. Party A, 0. Party A, 0. Party AA, 0. Party AA, 0. Party AAC, 4. Party AAC, 4. Party ADC, 37. Party ADC, 37. Party ADP, 34. Party ADP, 34. Party APC, 19380. Party APC, 19380. Party ABGA, 25. Party ABGA, 25. Party APM, 2. Party APM, 2. Party APP, 3. Party APP, 3. Party BP, 2. Party BP, 2. Party LP, 446. Party LP, 446. Party NNPP, 4. Party NNPP, 4. Party NRM, 17. Party NRM, 17. Party PDP, 14189. Party PDP, 14189. Party PRP 7. Party PRP 7. Party SDP 0. Party SDP 0. Party YPP 2. Party YPP 2. Party ZLP 5. Party ZLP 5. Total valid votes 34157. Total valid votes 34157. Rejected votes 420. Rejected votes 420. Total vote cast 34577. Total vote cast 34577. This is duly signed by me and the party agents present. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you. Please, a quick one. Was there any polling unit or ward where there was no election, or the election was held but it was cancelled? Please.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Party agents, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Owen West. Esako East. Esako East.
East. My name is Professor Kazim Adeyinka Seleko from FUT Mina. I'm the local government collation officer for Esako East. So, Esako East local government has 10 RA, registration areas. The total number of registered voters in the local government area is 102,754. 102,754. Number of accredited voters 35084. 35084. Votes received by political parties. Party A, 1 vote. Party A, 1 vote. AA, 3 votes. AA, 3 votes. AAC, 2 votes. AAC, 2 votes. ADC, 4 8. ADC, 4 8. ADP, 3 6. ADP, 3 6. APC, 20167. 20167. ABGA, 3 8. ABGA, 3 8. APM, 0 0. APP, 0. BP, 6 votes. BP, 6 votes. LP, 604. LP, 604. NNPP, 326. NNPP, 326. NRM, 4 votes. NRM, 4 votes. PDP, 9683. 9683. PRP, 2 votes. PRP, 2 votes. SDP, 1 vote. SDP, 1 vote. YPP, 3 votes. YPP, 3 votes. ZLP, 2 votes. ZLP, 2 votes. Total valid votes, 30926. 30926. Rejected votes, 435. Rejected votes, 435. Total votes cast, 31361. 31361. Thank you. The result sheets were signed by me and all party agents present.
Thank you very much, Professor. Please. Was there any polling unit or ward where there was election or election took place but the results were cancelled?
There was none, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Party agents, please. Okay. The man at the extreme end, thank you.
Tony of the PDP. This result, if you watch the expose by Usi Chidoka a couple of months ago, it will remind you of the Kogi elections. So please, you will see a lot of manufacturers like this when you hear ASACO. There are more coming like this. We reject this result. This is not a true reflection of what happened yesterday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other observation, please? The LGA Collation Officer, please present the result. Thank you. ESACO Central. ESACO Central. Is the coalition officer around? Oh, all right. Please introduce yourself, after which you hand over the mic to the LGA Collation Officer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Modi Godfrey, Electoral Officer, ESACO Central.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Professor Likita Tanko from the Federal University of Technology, Mina. I served as the local government collation officer for Esako Central in the 2024 governorship election, which held yesterday, Saturday, the 21st of September 2024. There are 10 wards in Esako Central LG, and the results obtained are presented as follows. The number of registered voters, 59,430, 59430. Number of accredited voters, 21,465, 21465. And the votes received by the respective political parties are as follows. A, 0. AA, 1. AAC, 1. ADC, 20, 20. ADP, 15, 15. APC, 11,906, 11906. APGA 20, 20. APM 1 vote. APP 1 vote. BP 0. LP 381, 381. NNPP 10, 10 votes. NRM 13, 13. PDP 8,455, 8455. PRP 11, 11. SDP 0. YPP 1. ZLP 15, 15. The total valid votes are 20,851. 20851. Rejected votes. The total number is 294. 294. Total votes cast. The total is 21,145. 21145. Returning officer, sir, these are the results from Esako Central.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you. Was there any polling unit or ward where results, election was conducted and results were cancelled, or there was election at all? And if there is any, you give us reasons for either the cancellation or why the result was not held in that place.
A returning officer, sir, no result was cancelled in Esako Central, but there was an incident.
Okay.
The incident was lack of access to the running of the election due to heavy rainfall. That took place at the name of the polling unit is South Uneme 1. Ogbato Ogobili Ogbato.
Number of PVCs or registered voters there?
Number of registered voters 162.
PVC collect
153. 153.
Thank you. Party agents, any comments, please? Okay, from the extreme and then the last one over there.
My name is Tony Iyo. I represent the PDP. I would like to state emphatically that all these votes mentioned here, 90% of the votes are manufactured votes, used or accrued to APC without BVAS. From 260 something, 90 something, I'm telling you units by units, from Oakland down to everywhere. They are manufactured votes to the APC figures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The man, yes, please.
Thank you, sir. My name is President Agbohan for the ZLP. First question. The votes on IRF from Isako Central and one just read different, particularly for ZLP and even for sister party. So we're asking, where is our votes?
Thank you very much. Any other comments? The LGA Collation Officer, please, can you hand over the results to... Thank you.
Returning officer, sir, the results were duly signed by me and the respective party agent.
The Collation Officer, LGA, Esako Central, please. Esako West, Esako West. Right, thank you. The EO, then you hand over the mic to the LGA Collation Officer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Adumo Prosper, the electoral officer at Esako West Local Government Area.
The returning officer, my name is Professor John Musa from Federal University of Technology. Returning for Esako West. Collation officer, sir. Thank you for the correction.
Please go ahead.
Number of registered voters.
Also RAs in that local area.
RAs. Yes, sir. Total number of registered voters. 186,449. I repeat again. 186,449. Accredited voters. 54304. 54304. Party A 15. Party A 15. Party AA Party AA 06. Party 0606. Thank you. Party AAC 16. Party AAC 16. Party ADC 175. Party ADC 175. Party ADP 86. Party ADP 86. Party AP 32107. Party APC 32107. APGA 67. APGA 67. APN 08. APN 08. APP 06. APP 06. Party BP 09. Party BP 09. Party LP 2116. Party LP 2116. Party NNPP 32. Party NNPP 32. Party NRN 39. Party NRN 39. Party PDP 17483. Party PDP 17483. Party PRP 16. Party PRP 16. Party SDP 06. Party SDP 06. Party YPP 09. Party YPP 09. Party ZLP 30. Party ZLP 30. Total valid votes 52226. Total valid votes 52226. Rejected votes 1188. Rejected votes 1188. Total vote cast 53414. Total vote cast 53414. Thank you very much. The LGA Collation Officer. Please, was there any polling unit or ward where there was election and the result was cancelled, or there was no election at all? And the reason, if there is any, there was none. Thank you. Thank you. Comments from the party agents, please. Party agents. Oh.
Tony, is my name. I'm representing the PDP. I think this result speaks for itself. You heard when he announced the figure for APC, the audience, they were murmuring, they were laughing when that figure was announced. So we would like to know if you could ask, it's not my place to ask questions or to ask where these figures came out from. This is taking the art of manufacturing to the highest level. Where these figures came out from. Look at the turnout and compare it to the turnout of other local governments. So I also want to please beg that we know two recent events, not so recent. We saw what happened during June 12, when collation of results were stopped at some point. And last year, we also saw what happened during the general elections. The activities in recent times pushed this country to the precipice. And when the people get a time, they have to react. And I want to assure you, none of you on the high table, including us here, is going to be spared when this whole thing conflagrates. It is not a true reflection of what happened yesterday in Isako. I make bold to say, and I say that we reject in its entirety this total result from Isako West. Thank you.
Thank you. The man with the white.
Thank you, sir. My name remains President Ibokan of ZLP. You do ask the presenter whether there were words that were cancelled or what's the reasons. I think a follow-up should also be whether there were BVAS used in all the units or whether they were manual. That's also a very important question.
It is noted. I think we can make progress. Okay, please.
Thank you. I represent APC here. Well, the result that is just announced is a true reflection at the Fed yesterday. It is not anybody's fault. If you throw away something that should belong and expect you to get results, that local government has been a local government in Edo North and most times in Edo State that has always had the highest turnout of votes. But at the time the number 2 man of this state crossed to my party, I expect that the votes will be boosted. And that is what you are seeing here today. So it's a true reflection. Unfortunately,
Thank you very much, sir. Please, the LGA, please, you can tender the result sheet. The distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have been able to cover 16 local government areas. We have, please, one house, we have a balance of 2 LGAs. On this note, I'm not too sure whether they are ready because I understand they are still on the field. And so, collating all the results. With your permission, I want to crave your indulgence that we go on recess. By the time we have information that they are ready, we reconvene in this hall so that we continue with the collation, after which you will have to wait patiently so that we put our votes together from this end that you are already aware of, and then we declare the winner of the election. Thank you very much. One question, please. All right. When do you think? Please, ladies and gentlemen, we need to with you. We may not be able to give you definitive time at which. But you have to allow me to finish. The reason being that the officers are still on the field. They are still on the field, and nobody have access to this now. So we can't give information that is not correct. Fine. Can we reconvene at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock, please. 5. Thank you very much. Thank you.